Hello everyone. So to all my new subscribers, hello, my name is Mia. I'm a transgender woman. This is my 15th month of estrogen, and I do monthly transition update videos where I talk about my transition, things I've noticed about how my life has changed since I've come out, and rant about all things trans. So I try to keep that content to about once a month so that I don't have it completely dominate my channel. But for those of my returning subscribers, yeah, this is supposed to be a weekly YouTube channel, and I haven't posted a video since the last one of these. I took a month off from this channel without any announcement, by the way, which was not the smartest thing I could do. Mostly I've just been taking care of myself mentally and a lot of other things. I've been really just strung out, and I'm working on some personal projects that I'll talk about at the end of this video, but I'm okay. I'm not dead, although with this plague hitting, you know, it is worth asking, but I am still very much alive and thriving, so I'm going to talk about that today. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, by which I mean force myself to talk about because otherwise I won't talk about it, is my upcoming vaginoplasty. My consultation is scheduled for April of 2021, so that's still quite a ways away. And as for when I'll actually be undergoing the procedure, I don't really know, so that's really exciting. But I've been trying really hard to do everything that I can on my side to get everything going and be ready on day zero. Like before I walk into that appointment, I want to be like, we could do this today, let's go. To that end, I submitted my paperwork for the actual new patient forms and everything, and they were pretty detailed. Like, they wanted to know the gender identities of everyone I've ever slept with. They wanted me to call my insurance provider and verify that I have coverage under F64.0, which is the diagnostic code for gender dysphoria. In the state of New York, where I currently live and receive treatment under diagnostic code F64.0, they wanted me to verify that by getting a reference number and a person's name. And to reiterate, I am currently receiving treatment under that diagnostic code from multiple places, so I don't really know why that isn't evidence enough, but paperwork is paperwork, and if it's stupid but doable, let's just do it. It's getting to the point where I'm like, I will sign whatever you need me to sign, just fix this situation, please. And I know that this process is going to be even more in depth. They want to know what my recovery plan is and who will be there for me and everything. Fortunately, I'm in a very stable-ish situation where I have insurance so I can take off time from work for my recovery. I have all kinds of friends and family of choice who are willing to be there for me. I'm good. I got everything I need. Let's just do it, please. But the larger outstanding issue is that I need to do electrolysis prior to my surgery so that I can actually get it done. Because the particular variety of vaginoplasty that I will be undergoing does require hair removal prior to it to be successful, so gotta get moving on that. Speaking of electrolysis, I figured out that out of the last 21 weeks I've gone to electrolysis 19 of those weeks, which is a lot. I've been going every single week since October, with exceptions for Christmas and New Year's, and that's pretty much it. But thanks to the COVID-19 outbreak, we are now being forced to stop electrolysis, which is honestly for the best, and I fully support this, and I understand why this is a necessary precaution, but also, yeah, I just really want all of my facial hair gone. I never wanted it in the first place, and it's still here, and I want it dead. And now I'm pretty sure I can do absolutely nothing about it for at least another couple of weeks, and I'm like, no! Which also means making no progress towards my bottom surgery, which is a little frustrating for me, but what can I do? You know, there's people dying from this virus, and obviously that has to be more important than what I'm going through, but it is hard, you know? The next thing I want to talk about is my taxes. So last year I had 2 different names depending on which part of the year you were talking about. And honestly, my name change really wasn't even a factor in my taxes, which was really nice because it's all the same social security number and everything. I did everything correctly the way I'm supposed to, but the bigger problem was that because I didn't want to deal with changing my name at certain financial institutions, I sold off a bunch of assets before changing my name. And again, the name change doesn't really matter, but the point is I had new kinds of tax forms to fill out that I'd never filled out before. And I don't want to sound like I'm that well-to-do. I was given stocks and bonds when I was a child. They're not worth that much. I just wanted to be rid of them so I wouldn't have to go through the process of changing my name with those institutions. In particular, there were these stocks that I received when I was a child that were so frustrating because obviously I was a child when I received them. So they were put in a custodial account with my mother, who again, especially for those new to this channel, my mother abused the crap out of me for 24 years and continues to deny my gender identity and all that sort of stuff. So really, it's just a lovely situation. But when I did actually finally move away from that horrible abusive situation, I updated my address with them, and they sent that address to both me and my mother, which is not safe. And what followed was this really nightmarish back and forth with them. My mother, I had to like break my no contact to make this stop. And I sure as hell was not about to change my name with those people because they couldn't even understand that a 22-year-old account had reached the age of majority. They needed me to like get a copy of my birth certificate and all this crazy stuff. Anyway, I had a lot of negative associations with those stocks, so I was more than happy to sell them off and not have to deal with my name change with them, except when it came time to do my taxes. Long story short, I put a lot of effort into trying to do this myself, and it was not working out, and I couldn't tell if I was doing it right or not, and the last thing I wanted was to be audited or anything like that, so I was like, okay, I need to like get help with this, but wrapped up in that is me having to out myself to whoever's going to help me with this. And I was like, come on, the whole point was to avoid this situation. Fortunately, the person I went to did not seem to care one way or the other, which is exactly the correct reaction to have in this situation. Like, she was like, no, okay, that's your name, great. Because I don't want to be like treated like I'm some special case and look how great I'm being by treating you like a human being and all that. It's like, no, just this is why this is like this. It's not a problem, just do your job. Thank you. I basically consider the fee that I paid that person to do this for me as a one-time get rid of that name forever fee, and that's how I've emotionally processed that. But I'm officially done with that name legally in any context forever, and that feels fantastic. So going back to COVID-19 for a minute, as I said, it is interfering with my ability to receive electrolysis both for my facial hair and prior to my bottom surgery. I'm still having to figure out exactly how I'm going to make that work because my current electrologist who does my face has no idea how to get my insurance to file a claim and, you know, cover this procedure for my surgery, which is supposedly covered by my insurance. Unlike facial hair, which is obviously cosmetic despite the fact that it causes me severe gender dysphoria, which I have a diagnosis for and receive coverage for. Anyway, there's a couple of moving parts to this. So I need an electrologist who knows how to file the paperwork with the insurance. The insurance needs some letters from doctors and insurance providers or whatever. That I can get no problem. I have all the providers I need. But they also require a letter from my surgeon to indicate that this is medically necessary, and I'm not sure they're going to give me that prior to my consultation. Like, I would want them to because this benefits them, like, better outcome, let's go, you know? But the bigger issue for me is finding a provider who's actually going to be able to file the paperwork. In a previous update video, I did actually discuss the fact that my surgeon did ultimately provide me with a contact for an electrologist in the city that will do this and knows how to file the paperwork and everything, so I've yet to contact them because the apocalypse happened, but that's the next thing on my to-do list. So as far as I understand the process, it's basically going to be once a month for like 4 to 6 hours per session because it's a larger area. It's gonna be an unpleasant ride home, but I will do whatever it takes to make this nightmare end. The next thing I want to talk about is my HRT. So last time I got tested, it was way too close to my shot date. We got a crazy high number, and that was like, okay, throw that away. We don't know what that number means because it's the wrong point of your cycle or whatever. So I did manage to shift back all of my injection dates, and I went to my appointment, and I got blood work, and I got the results back, and my estrogen is really, really high. But it does confirm that I am firmly in the territory of pregnancy hormones. And it kind of sucks because wrapped up in this is the emotion of this is the closest I will ever be to carrying a child, but trying to enjoy it while I've got it is kind of a wild ride, to be totally honest. It explains my sense of smell and the fact that I'm always tired and hungry, so that's always fun. And before someone comments, yes, we tested for signs of diabetes because I understand that those are both signs of that and blah, blah, blah. I know, we tested for it, we're good. But in addition to that, there has been a now 20% increase in my estrogen intake, so that level's going up again. And I also have doubled my progesterone. So this girl is swimming in girl hormones, and I love it. You know, aside from the tiredness and the soreness and a few other things, I feel fantastic. So yeah, those are my levels. That's what's going on with my HRT. It's all up, up, up. We still have to train Amanda to stab me because we wanted to move from doing thigh injections to gluteal injections. which I can't do myself because it is necessarily not in my direct field of vision because it is called my behind. I know some people do that on their own, but it is not the recommended procedure, and I have a person who is willing to do that for me, so obviously I'm going to avail myself of that. Amanda has indicated that they would feel more comfortable learning this from a medical professional than having me impart this wisdom to them, and I totally support that. But the problem is that that appointment was also delayed due to COVID-19, so for now I'm still doing thigh shots, which isn't optimal for me. There's a slightly better absorption back there, but I have my hormones and my levels are good, so I'm a happy girl. The last thing I want to talk about today is what I've been up to in the past month, besides not posting on my YouTube channel every week like I'm supposed to be. It is actually related somewhat to my transition. So I've picked up some voice acting this month, which is really exciting to me. I'm back in the studio again, doing the audiobook for the author that Amanda edits for, and I'm super excited about that, but I had to talk to him about it because I was like, hey, this story has a male protagonist, and the sample I gave you last year of my voice doing chapter 1 for this book, I can't do it anymore. Like, seriously, if I try to sound like a guy at this point, I can't do it. My vocal cords have tensed up, and that's just their natural register right now. Like, I wake up in the morning and sound like this. And me trying to sound like a guy at this point sounds much more like a girl trying to sound like a boy than it does like a boy. So that's fantastic because that was exactly the goal of my voice training, but not so great for my vocal range as a voice actor. I also had to inform a person that I'm doing a podcast voice acting session with that this was going to be a problem. But fortunately, all the trans podcasts I'd agreed to do interviews on are not going to be problems for this. And yes, when the links are available, I will absolutely share them in the description and all of that because I'm super excited about each of these projects individually, really excited about everything I've got going on, and I'm super excited to share it all with you. And of course, the book is ongoing. I haven't been so committed to writing of late. I've actually been kind of slacking on this. Every once in a while, I write a paragraph or two and just dump it in there. I write some notes every once in a while, but I haven't actually done any serious writing on this in the past month, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm hoping that the fact that I'm working from home is going to give me more time not commuting to work and back, so I'm hoping that that time can kind of be put into this creative endeavor. We'll see. But the point is, I do have some video ideas ready to go. I'm going to be filming again later this month, and I'm going to be putting up stuff every week, I hope. I'm trying to go for quality over quantity though, so if I have like a idea or I have to find something that I'm going to talk about, I won't probably do that. I am going to start streaming on my Twitch again, hopefully, again, because I'm home, so that'll be exciting. I haven't even played Pokemon Shield yet because it's still in the box. Like, I haven't touched games in a while. Plus, I won't have my usual excuse of like, oh no, I've got facial hair, oh no, I'm all swollen from electrolysis, to keep me from actually doing stuff, so that kind of works out. So to summarize my transition update this month, things are progressing as much as possible with the current pandemic going on, and I'm happy and things are going well. I'm still alive, I'm still thriving, so that's something. And that is all for this update video. I'll be back again next week with another video that I hope you'll find interesting. Until then, stay curious and keep up with your social distancing.